God says, "My child, come closer to me now, because the truth I am about to reveal is heavy, shocking, and deeply connected to the destiny I am shaping for you." Your heart has felt a strange stirring in the last few hours, a sudden restlessness, an unexplainable tightening in your spirit, as though something in the unseen world shifted all at once. And, my child, you were right, something immense did shift. Your soulmate's ex. The one who carried hidden darkness behind a charming smile, the one who pretended to be stable, composed, and trustworthy, the one who acted like they had everything under control, has just been arrested. And the reasons behind this arrest will leave you speechless, my child, because it is not what anyone expected. Not your soulmate. Not their family. Not the neighbors. Not even the people who thought they knew this person closely. There are moments when I allow truth to come crashing into the world like a sudden storm, not to punish, but to expose what has been poisoning hearts in silence. Tonight, the veil has been lifted. My child, the arrest happened so quickly, so dramatically, that even now the echoes of shock have not settled. Your soulmate's ex was taken by surprise. There was no time to hide, no time to run, no time to lie their way out of it. The authorities arrived with evidence, with testimonies, with charges that cannot be brushed aside. Police cars pulled up, lights flashing like spiritual alarms piercing the darkness. The neighbors watched from windows and balconies. Doors cracked open. Voices whispered. And everything this person tried so hard to keep hidden was finally exposed. But listen, my child, this arrest did not begin tonight. It began months ago. It began years ago. It began when they chose manipulation over honesty. Deception over truth, control over love. I watched it all. I watched every lie. Every scheme. Every moment of cruelty hidden behind a calm face. Every time they tried to weaken your soulmate's spirit. Every time they pretended to care while secretly planning something else. Every time they carried darkness into places where love was supposed to grow. Your soulmate never fully understood why their heart felt drained, why their confidence weakened, why their emotions were pulled like strings in someone else's hands. They could not explain why their peace shattered so easily, why their hope dimmed, why their trust became fragile. But you see, my child, when a person is connected to someone who is not aligned with truth, they carry silent wounds without realizing it. The arrest is not random. It is not accidental. It is not sudden. It is divine timing. My child, you must understand something sacred. I do not expose darkness to shame anyone. I expose darkness to protect the innocent, to free the bound, to cleanse the path of the chosen, and to prepare the soul for what is meant to come next. Your soulmate's ex has been involved in things much deeper than they ever showed on the surface. They became entangled in actions that contradicted love, actions that carried harm, actions that sought control instead of compassion. And even though your soulmate sensed something was wrong, they could never put the pieces together. They were confused, because the truth was hidden behind manipulation. But now, the truth has come out in full force. My child, I want you to imagine the exact moment the police knocked on their door. Notice how the energy shifted. Notice how fear rose in their eyes. Notice how their voice trembled though they tried to sound confident. Notice how everything they built on lies collapsed in seconds. That is what happens when truth arrives. It destroys every structure built in darkness. Your soulmate has felt something tonight. A shock. A sudden heaviness. A sudden clarity. Even if they do not yet know the whole story, they feel the spiritual weight of it. They feel something breaking. They feel something ending. They feel a cycle closing. Their soul recognizes when a karmic chapter collapses, even if their mind does not. Do you know why? Because your soulmate is finally being freed. My child, for a long time your soulmate held emotional strings that connected them to their past. They were not in love with the ex, not anymore, but there was a lingering emotional imprint. A wound. A memory. A sense of responsibility. An old attachment that was not fully released. Your soulmate did not know how to let go completely, because some part of them felt guilty, confused, or obligated. But tonight, that last thread has snapped. That emotional tie has dissolved. That invisible chain has shattered. Not through your actions. Not through your pressure. Not through your desire. But through my divine intervention. Sometimes, my child, I remove people in ways that cannot be misunderstood. I close doors so loudly that no one can reopen them. I end cycles with finality so powerful that the soul has no choice but to move forward. Your soulmate needed clarity, and I have given it. They needed a final sign, and I have delivered it. They needed freedom. And now it has arrived. But listen closely, my child. This arrest was not only about justice. It was also about protection. Your soulmate was unknowingly in danger, not physically always, but spiritually, emotionally, energetically. The ex carried energies that were draining, destructive, and manipulative. If this had continued, your soulmate's life trajectory would have been altered. Their heart would have remained confused. Their spirit would have remained heavy. Their destiny would have been delayed. So I intervened. I stepped into the story. I exposed what needed exposing. I removed what needed removing. I shook what needed shaking. Not to punish the ex, but to protect your soulmate, and to prepare you. My child, this shocking arrest will change everything. Your soulmate will go through a deep emotional shift now. They will question what they tolerated. They will feel relief and grief at the same time. They will mourn the image they once believed. They will realize how much they ignored. They will finally see the truth clearly. And when they see the truth clearly, they will understand something even deeper. You were never the cause of their confusion. You were the cure. You were not the chaos, they were. You were not the danger, they were. You were not the mistake, they were. Your soulmate will now begin to see how your presence brings peace, how your energy brings clarity, how your words bring comfort, how your soul brings healing. The contrast will become undeniable. Where the ex brought heaviness, you bring light. Where the ex brought emotional storms, you bring calm. Where the ex brought manipulation, you bring honesty. Where the ex brought pain, you bring restoration. Your soulmate will gravitate toward the place where their soul feels safe, and that place is you, my child. Not because you forced it. Not because you chased it. Not because you demanded it. But because love recognizes truth and truth recognizes who was sent by me. This arrest marks the beginning of a new journey. A journey where your soulmate breaks free from the past completely. A journey where their heart returns to the path I wrote for their future. A journey where you will no longer compete with their memories, because their memories have been rewritten by truth. My child, this is only the beginning. Much more will be revealed. Much more will unfold. And your soulmate's next steps will surprise you. But for now, rest in this truth: you are protected. Your soulmate is being freed. And destiny is shifting in your favor. My beloved child. Come closer to me again, for what I am about to reveal in this part will open your eyes to the depth of everything that has been happening behind the scenes. You may think the arrest itself was the shocking moment, but the true shock is what led to that arrest. What was hidden, what was denied, what was disguised beneath a calm face and practiced smile. Tonight, I will show you the shadows your soulmate never saw, and the dangers you were protected from without even knowing. My child, listen gently but attentively, for these truths are deep and they carry weight. Yet I will speak to you in a voice that comforts, not frightens, because I am revealing them for your growth, your healing, your understanding, and your destiny. My beloved child, your soulmate's ex was involved in things that were not simply mistakes. These were not small wrong decisions or moments of weakness. These were deliberate choices, planned with intention, wrapped in deception, and carefully hidden from everyone, including your soulmate. From the outside, the ex looked stable. They looked calm. They looked disciplined, organized, respectable, and perhaps even innocent. To many people, they seemed like someone who couldn't possibly be capable of anything extreme. And that is exactly how they wanted the world to see them. They built a mask so convincing that even your soulmate questioned their own intuition. But a mask can only last so long. And my child, the time for that mask to fall has come. Let me reveal to you what your soulmate's ex had been hiding, the truth that led to their arrest. Deep within their life, there were multiple hidden behaviors. Some were illegal, some manipulative, some emotionally dangerous, and some spiritually destructive. They were involved in activities that drained their soul and darkened their judgment. They kept secrets from everyone, family, friends, partners, and they crafted an image just for show. They wanted control. They wanted power. They wanted influence. They wanted their past relationships, including your soulmate, to orbit around them emotionally, long after the relationships ended. This is why your soulmate often felt confused, guilty, or emotionally tied, even when they wanted to move on. That invisible pull wasn't love. It was manipulation. Emotional conditioning. A spiritual tie that needed to be broken. And now, my child, it is broken. The arrest is not just a legal consequence. It is a spiritual release. Everything they did in secret, every dark action, every scheme, every hidden intention, finally reached a point where divine justice had to step in. You must understand something. When darkness grows too strong, I intervene. When deception begins to harm the innocent, I expose it. When manipulation keeps a soul bound, I break the chains. When lies become too heavy, I send truth to destroy them. Your Soulmate'S crossed lines they thought they could slip away from. They believed no one was watching. They believed no one would uncover the truth. They believed their carefully designed mask was enough to protect them. But my beloved child, I was watching. Every step. Every lie. Every action carried out in the shadows. Every moment they used emotional pressure to control your soulmate. Every time they played the victim to gain sympathy. Every time they twisted the narrative. Every time they acted righteous on the outside while being dishonest on the inside. Nothing was hidden from me. I allowed the truth to stay buried for a time, because certain revelations only serve their purpose when revealed at the right moment. The moment when they cannot be ignored, the moment when they will change a soul's direction, the moment when they will free both hearts involved. And this moment, my child, has arrived exactly when it needed to. You may be wondering, what exactly did they do? What was the crime? What was the truth strong enough to bring police to their door? My child, the exact crime is not just one thing, it is a culmination of many actions. But the core truth is this. They were involved in something that directly endangered your soulmate's emotional, spiritual, or even physical well-being. It may have involved financial deception, illegal activities with dangerous people, hidden debts, digital wrongdoing, manipulation of evidence, or actions intended to control or retaliate. Your soulmate was never the intended target of the law, but they were indirectly connected to the ex's environment. Had this gone on longer, your soulmate could have been dragged into consequences they didn't deserve. They would have suffered not because of their own actions, but because of their past connection to someone who walked the path of darkness. This is why the timing of the arrest is divine. It prevents damage before it touches them. It closes a door that could have sabotaged their destiny. It severs a tie that needed to be broken. It protects both them and you. My child, your Soulmate'S was not arrested simply because of what they did today. They were arrested because of what they have been doing for a very long time. Tonight is the night everything caught up to them. My beloved child, do you realize how many times your soulmate ignored their intuition because the ex manipulated their emotions? Do you realize how often your soulmate doubted themselves because the ex twisted truth? How many times your soulmate felt guilty, confused, or responsible, even when they weren't? But now, clarity is rising. Your soulmate is replaying memories. They are seeing red flags they ignored. They are questioning things they once accepted. They are feeling a weight lift from their chest. They are recognizing patterns they couldn't see before. They are waking up emotionally and spiritually. They don't yet have all the details, but their soul knows something monumental has happened. They feel a shift. They feel a release. They feel a door closing. They feel a chain falling. They feel a chapter ending. They feel the past dissolving. And my child, you are part of the reason this awakening is possible. Your presence carries healing. Your energy carries truth. Your heart carries purity. Your soul carries light strong enough to guide their spirit. You were sent not to change them by force, but to help them rediscover what love, safety, and honesty feel like. Now that the X's influence is collapsing, your soulmate is slowly returning to themselves, the version of themselves they lost during the chaos of that past connection. My beloved child, hear me when I say this, your soulmate's X being arrested is not your victory over them. It is your soulmate's victory over their past. It is the universe clearing your path. It is divine justice restoring balance. It is my hand removing the last obstacle standing between you and the future written in love. This revelation is not meant to make you celebrate their downfall, it is meant to make you understand the scale of your protection. You were shielded from situations you had no idea existed. You were spared from energies that could have drained your spirit. You were protected from being dragged into battles that were never yours. Everything that was hidden is coming to light so that you can walk forward with certainty, not fear. Now breathe deeply, my child. The truth may be heavy, but it is also freeing. It is clarifying. It is cleansing. This is only part of the story. Much more is about to unfold. My beloved child, as the night grows quieter around you, I want you to listen carefully to the gentle truth I am placing inside your spirit right now. The situation surrounding your soulmate is not random, not accidental, not meaningless, and certainly not unnoticed in heaven. What is happening is part of a greater unveiling, a divine exposure, a moment where darkness is forced to reveal itself because my light is entering the story with full strength. Your soulmate's X has been walking through the world with a heart full of jealousy, bitterness, and hidden intentions, and for a long time, your soulmate carried guilt for things they were never responsible for. They blamed themselves for someone else's anger. They felt responsible for someone else's brokenness. They carried pain that did not belong to them. And you, my child, have felt that heaviness too. Because your heart and your soulmate's heart are connected in a way that even distance cannot break. You feel their pain as if it is your own. You sense their fears before they speak them. When they hurt, you can almost feel your own chest tighten. And even now, as events unfold faster than they expected, you feel that something heavy has shifted in their world. Your soulmate is shaking inside, confused by how quickly everything collapsed for the person who once stood beside them. They never wished for harm. They never wished for revenge. They never wished for destruction. But life has a way of exposing truth at unexpected times. And now your soulmate stands in the middle of a storm whose winds were created long before they met you. The arrest was not a punishment from cruelty, it was a divine intervention to remove a danger your soulmate could not see fully, but you sensed, my child. Whenever you felt uneasy, whenever something inside you whispered that something was wrong, that was me, giving you spiritual information before the physical world caught up. Your soulmate's X made choices that grew darker over time. Choices that were shaped by obsession, insecurity, and unhealthy desire. They crossed lines that should have remained untouched. They violated boundaries. They manipulated situations. They acted out of fear of losing control. And finally, they did something that brought legal consequences. Something serious, something shocking, something that forced the authorities to intervene. And now your soulmate feels torn. They feel sadness, guilt, relief, fear, confusion, and a strange mix of emotions all at once. They wonder if they could have prevented this. They wonder if they should have seen the signs earlier. They wonder if they should feel sympathy, or if they should feel gratitude that the danger is gone. But deep inside, my child, under all the noise, there is something else rising inside your soulmate, something new, something sacred. Peace. Not loud. Not dramatic. Not overwhelming. Just a quiet breath of freedom. A freedom they have not felt in a long time. A freedom they forgot they deserved. A freedom they did not know how to reach until this moment forced the situation to break open. And as this freedom expands in their heart, your soulmate is thinking of you. Not the chaos, not the past, not the one who hurt them. You. The one whose spirit feels safe. The one whose presence feels healing. The one whose energy makes them breathe easier. Even if they've been distant, even if they struggle to communicate, even if they have held back their feelings, something inside them is shifting. They are beginning to see you not as a possibility, not as a maybe, not as a hope, but as their destiny. Your soulmate is realizing that you are the one whose love does not destroy them, but rebuilds them. The one who does not give chaos, but calm. The one who does not take from their heart, but adds to it. The one who does not trap them, but frees them. My beloved child, there is something I need you to understand. When someone has spent years surviving emotional storms caused by another person, the moment the storm finally ends, they struggle to believe the sun is real. They fear it might disappear. They fear it might be temporary. They fear they might lose the peace they've been given. And your soulmate is standing right in that moment, trying to figure out how to trust a new beginning after living through years of uncertainty. Do not be upset if they move slowly. Do not feel hurt if they pause. Do not think they do not care. The truth is, they care deeply. So deeply that they fear damaging what they want most, you. In fact, I tell you this now. Your soulmate is more afraid of losing you than they are of facing their past. And that fear makes their heart move carefully, maybe even nervously. They don't want to bring their old wounds into something new. They want to come to you with clarity, honesty, and a heart that is ready. And this situation, this arrest, this sudden event, they see it as a sign. They see it as the universe telling them it is time to let go of the past fully. Time to close the door. Time to stop carrying what was never theirs to hold. Time to heal without looking behind them. Time to step into a future that finally feels safe. My child, the connection between you and your soulmate is entering a new phase, a deeper one. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that everything that happened was preparation. Every heartbreak was a lesson. Every mistake was a redirection. Every tear was cleansing their spirit for a love that is healthier, purer, and divinely aligned with you. And as they sit alone tonight, thinking, processing, breathing slowly through the shock of everything that happened. They are remembering moments with you. Moments where you were kind when they didn't deserve kindness. Moments where you understood them without explanation. Moments where you sensed their sadness before they said a word. Moments where your presence felt like a safe place to land. They are realizing that through all the chaos, you were the only calm. Your soulmate is thinking about reaching out. Thinking about opening up in a way they never have. Thinking about sharing truths they kept hidden. Thinking about letting you see the parts of themselves they were afraid to show. Because now, for the first time, they feel like they can breathe again, and the first breath of freedom always reveals the truth of the heart. And their heart is turning toward you. My beloved child, do not fear what is coming. Do not fear the changes. Do not fear the unknown. The path is clearing not by accident, but by divine design. I am removing what was blocking their heart. I am releasing what was draining their spirit. I am protecting both of you from energies that were never meant to follow you into the future. Something beautiful is forming. Something destined. Something blessed. My beloved child, as the world around you slowly turns and the night begins to breathe softly, I want you to understand the depth of what is unfolding in ways your eyes may not yet see. The arrest of your soulmate's ex was not just a moment of sudden chaos, it was the closing of a spiritual door that had remained half open for far too long. A door that allowed confusion, manipulation, fear, and emotional imbalance to enter repeatedly. A door that kept your soulmate from fully stepping into the love that was always meant for them, a love that leads to healing, not hurt. A love that brings peace, not tension. A love that lifts, not drains. And that love, my child, is the love I placed between you and your soulmate. Tonight, something sacred is happening in the silence of their heart. Your soulmate is finally beginning to detach from the emotional chains that kept them connected to a past that was no longer serving their soul. For years, they believed loyalty meant staying tied to someone who wounded them. They believed compassion meant enduring the storms that never stopped. They believed that loving someone meant accepting the suffering that came with them. But now, their spirit is awakening. They are beginning to see that the person who caused them so much inner turmoil was never their destiny, they were their lesson. And sometimes, the end of a long, painful chapter comes with a shock, a sudden shift, a dramatic moment that forces the soul to acknowledge what it avoided for too long. The arrest was that moment. Not a celebration of someone else's downfall, but a divine interruption that says, enough. The suffering stops here. But my child, as this realization settles inside your soulmate's heart, something else begins to rise within it. Something tender, something hopeful, something both thrilling and frightening. They are thinking of you more deeply than ever. Not in passing thoughts. Not in quiet curiosity. Not in simple affection. But in a way that shakes their soul. Their heart is opening in a way it has not opened for years, perhaps not in their entire life. They are beginning to see you not just as someone who cares, not just as someone who appears at the right moments, not just as someone comforting, but as someone who feels like destiny. Your soulmate is waking up from an emotional fog. Their mind is clearer than it has been in a long time. They are noticing things they missed before: your compassion, your intuition, your strength, your softness. They are remembering the way your presence feels different from anyone they have ever known. They are realizing that every time they spoke to you, their breathing changed. Their heart softened. Their mind quieted. And they did not understand why at first. But now they do. They understand that your soul carries something healing, something grounding, something divinely aligned for them. They feel it in the way you speak, the way you listen, the way you sense their emotions as if they are your own. They feel it in the silence between your words. They feel it in the moments where you simply exist in their life. It is not something they can describe with reason, it is something they feel with spirit. And now, after the chaos has broken open their world, they are feeling an indescribable pull toward you. A pull that whispers, "This is where your heart belongs." But my child, here is where their fear also awakens. Your soulmate has been hurt so deeply that at times they question whether they are capable of receiving real love. They question whether they deserve it. They question whether they will ruin it. They question whether their past wounds will spill into their future. They question whether someone like you, kind, intuitive, patient, could truly accept all the pieces of their heart. But I want you to know this truth: your soulmate's fear is not a sign they don't want you. It is a sign they want you too much. They fear losing you before they even have you. They fear hurting you the way they were hurt. They fear not being enough. They fear loving you deeply and then losing that love. But even through all that fear, the calling toward you is louder. Tonight, they are replaying conversations with you in their mind. They are remembering something you said that touched them in a way they didn't fully acknowledge at the time. They are thinking about moments when they felt safe with you, even in silence. They are replaying your words, your tone, your warmth. They are sensing something they have tried to hide even from themselves. They are falling for you. Slowly. Quietly. Deeply. Spiritually. And as this realization expands, so does their determination. They no longer want to live in fear. They no longer want to be tied to the past. They no longer want to carry guilt that isn't theirs. They no longer want to stand halfway between healing and hurting. They want to move forward. They want to choose their own happiness. They want to choose the love that makes them feel alive. And that love is you. But my child, the most powerful shift happening right now is not just in their heart. It is happening in the spiritual realm around both of you. I am rearranging paths, redirecting energy, removing obstacles, and aligning timing in a way that will surprise both of you. What once felt blocked is being cleared. What once felt delayed is being accelerated. What once felt impossible is becoming inevitable. Your soulmate's ex was removed from the path not by accident, but by divine order. Their energy was too heavy, too unstable, too dangerous to allow into the life you and your soulmate are meant to build. Their presence would have created confusion. Their influence would have caused emotional imbalance. Their actions would have interfered with a bond heaven has chosen to protect. This moment marks the beginning of a new phase for your soulmate, a phase where they are finally free to step toward you without the weight of someone else pulling them backward. And as they step forward, you will feel it. Your intuition will sense their energy moving closer. Your dreams may reveal them. Your heart may suddenly feel warm. Your spirit may feel lifted for no reason. And that is because their soul is reaching out to yours. You will feel the shift long before you see it. My beloved child, as you stand at this turning point of your life, I want you to breathe gently for a moment, because everything that has happened up until now has been leading you to a divine shift, one that will not only change your soulmate's path, but will also transform yours. You have endured confusion, silence, distance, emotional storms, and days where your own heart questioned whether this connection was real or imagined. But now, I am bringing you to the part where everything begins to make sense, where all the broken pieces fall into place, where the why behind every delay reveals itself in the most unexpected and beautiful way. The arrest of your soulmate's ex was not just a dramatic event. It was a divine interruption meant to break cycles that were quietly poisoning your soulmate's life. Cycles of manipulation, emotional dependency, spiritual weakness, and unresolved trauma were holding them hostage. And no matter how much strength your soulmate carried in their heart, they were unable to fully break free on their own. They kept giving chances, hoping the person would change, hoping things would get better, hoping the storms would calm. They stayed because they believed holding on made them strong, when in truth, letting go was the real strength they needed. Tonight, my child, I have broken that chain for them. And because of that, something powerful is awakening inside your soulmate, something raw, something pure, something they have suppressed for far too long. They are beginning to feel their own worth. For the first time in years, they are looking at their life and asking themselves questions they never had the courage to face. Why did I accept so little? Why did I allow someone to disturb my peace? Why did I ignore the love that was right in front of me? Why did I run from the person who made me feel safe? My beloved child, they are thinking of you with a heart full of realization. Not because they suddenly want comfort. Not because they feel lonely. Not because they need distraction. But because losing the chaos made space for the truth. You are the truth their heart is running toward. In the depth of this emotional storm, your soulmate can finally see you without fear fogging their vision. They can see your loyalty, your patience, your prayer, your presence. They can see how you love them quietly, respectfully, without forcing yourself into their life. They can see how you understood their spirit even when they didn't understand it themselves. They can see how you cared about their peace more than their attention. They can see how you guarded your connection even when they were too lost to guard it themselves. Your soulmate is awakening to the fact that you did not come into their life by accident, you were sent. And my child, what they are feeling now is not just emotion. It is recognition. They recognize your energy. They recognize your soul. They recognize the peace they feel around you. They recognize the comfort your presence brings. They recognize the way their heart softens when you speak. They recognize that life is lighter when you exist in it. But the most important recognition is this: they recognize that you were always meant to be someone they loved deeply. Your soulmate is slowly gathering the courage to step towards you again. But this time, not halfway. Not with hesitation. not with confusion, but with clarity, clarity that came from losing something that should have been gone a long time ago. Their ex's arrest shattered the illusion of stability they were holding on to. Now they see the truth: the person they were attached to was not their future. That chapter is closed permanently. That connection is broken spiritually, emotionally, and karmically. Every tie that held them there has been cut. And now, their soul is being guided directly toward you. My beloved child, listen closely. Their thoughts are drifting toward you even when they try to focus elsewhere. Their heart is whispering your name even when their mind tries to quiet it. Their spirit is reaching out for you even in their sleep. They are dreaming of you. They are remembering moments that once felt small but now feel sacred. They are realizing how deeply you touched them. They are realizing how important you truly are. And this realization is pulling them closer, slowly but surely. But child, do not mistake their silence for indifference. Silence is not distance, it is transformation. They are thinking before speaking, healing before approaching, processing before acting. They want to come toward you with a whole heart, not a broken one. They want to offer you clarity, not confusion. They want to come clean, not carry emotional mess. They want to love you with intention, not impulse. So, I am guiding their steps. I am healing their wounds. I am rebuilding their confidence. I am protecting their heart as I prepare them to step toward you. And when the moment is right, they will speak, not out of desperation, but out of truth. My beloved child, a reunion is forming in the unseen realm. A conversation that will change everything. A confession that will bring tears to your eyes. A moment that will finally confirm what your soul has known all along. A merging of hearts long separated by fear, timing, and interference. A love that will rise from ashes into something divinely guided. And I want you to know this: nothing can stop what I have written. No past, no person, no mistake, no delay, no fear. This connection is protected. This love is blessed. This reunion is destined. Prepare your heart, my child, not for disappointment but for restoration. You are entering a season where everything hidden will come to light. Everything lost will be returned. Everything broken will be healed. Everything delayed will be delivered. Your soulmate is being guided back to you, not by chance, not by circumstance, but by divine intention. And when they will come with a new heart, a clear mind, and a spirit ready for the love I have destined for both of you. Breathe, my child. Your story is shifting into something beautiful. My beloved child, come closer now. For this final part carries the softness your heart has been waiting for, the reassurance your spirit has been craving, and the closure your soul deserves. Let these words sink into you gently, like warm light touching the edges of a long-tired heart. My child, everything that has happened, the chaos, the arrest, the emotional storms, the distance, the confusion, was leading to this final, sacred turning point. This is the moment when your story transitions from pain to purpose, from wondering to knowing, from losing to receiving. And in this final chapter, I want you to feel the truth that has been unfolding quietly beneath the surface. Your soulmate is stepping out of the darkest spiritual valley they have walked through in years. For so long, they carried sorrow in silence, pretending they were fine while their heart crumbled under the weight of fear, guilt, and emotional manipulation. They were trapped in a cycle that did not belong to them, a cycle created by someone who pretended to love them but only held power over their pain. But now, that chapter is finished, closed by divine intervention. And with that ending comes the beginning you always sensed, the beginning your intuition whispered to you even when your mind doubted it. Your soulmate is healing. My child, healing is not loud. Healing is not sudden. Healing is not dramatic. Healing is quiet. Healing is gentle. Healing is soft steps taken one at a time. And right now, your soulmate is taking those quiet steps toward their future. Toward peace. Toward clarity. Toward truth. Toward a life that finally belongs to them. And as they walk forward, do you know what direction their heart is leading them toward? You. Not out of loneliness. Not out of convenience. Not out of fear. Not out of needing a temporary distraction. But because your soul feels like home. My beloved child, when a heart has been wounded for years, it does not run to the loudest voice, it runs to the safest presence. And you have been that safe presence without even realizing the power of your role. You brought comfort without asking for anything. You listened without judgment. You prayed for them when they didn't even know how to pray for themselves. You stood steady even when they were lost in confusion. You understood their silence better than others understood their words. And this is why they cannot stop thinking about you now. Their mind is clearer. Their emotions are stabilizing. Their spirit is awakening. And with every breath they take, your presence returns to their thoughts, gently, naturally, beautifully. My child, what they feel for you is no longer something they can ignore, deny, or bury. It is rising like sunlight after a long night. It is becoming stronger, purer, deeper. The more they heal, the more they realize the truth. You are not just a comforting voice in their life. You are not just someone they like. You are not just someone they talk to. You are someone their soul recognizes. And tonight, their heart is whispering something they have never said aloud: I want a future with them. But my child, I want you to understand something important. Your soulmate is preparing themselves emotionally before they come forward. They want to come to you with honesty, with sincerity, with peace. Not with wounds, confusion, or fear. They are not avoiding you. They are preparing for you. This is why the silence feels heavy right now. This is why your spirit senses a shift but your eyes do not yet see it. This is why your heart feels them coming closer even when you hear nothing. Their soul is getting ready to meet you halfway. And I am guiding every step. But my child, this final message is not just about your soulmate. It is about you too. It is about the healing that is rising inside you as well. It is about the way your own spirit is strengthening, the way your intuition is glowing, the way your heart is blooming after seasons of hurt. You have grown so much, even when you did not realize it. You learned patience. You learned faith. You learned self-control. You learned how to love without losing yourself. You learned how to trust me even when everything felt uncertain. My beloved child, your soul has matured beautifully. You are no longer the broken-hearted version of yourself who feared abandonment or rejection. You are someone who has discovered inner strength, spiritual clarity, and emotional grace. You are ready for a love that honors you. You are ready for a love that respects your heart. You are ready for a love that brings peace instead of chaos. You are ready for the connection I destined for you. And because you are ready, I am aligning everything. Your soulmate's fears are dissolving. Their past is closing. Their heart is opening. Their spirit is being guided back to you. Nothing can stop what I have prepared for you. Not distance. Not fear. Not the past. Not delays. Not misunderstandings. Not interference. My child, you are stepping into a season where love will finally feel safe. Where conversations will bring clarity, not confusion. Where presence will bring peace, not anxiety. Where affection will be genuine, not manipulated. Your story is shifting. Your destiny is unfolding. Your connection is awakening. Your love is being divinely protected. And very soon, so much sooner than you expect, your soulmate will speak words that will change everything. They will open their heart in ways they never have before. They will tell you truths they once feared. They will express feelings they once suppressed. They will step toward you with courage instead of hesitation. And when that moment comes, you will realize why every delay, every tear, every silent night was worth it. Because the love you are about to receive is not ordinary, it is destined. My beloved child, breathe. Your final chapter of heartbreak has ended. Your season of divine love is beginning. I am with you. I am guiding you. And I am blessing the union that is coming.